Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another football live stream. Today's video is going to be a quick live stream, 10-15 minutes max, and it's going to be 5 things we learned from Manchester United 4, Everton 0. It's going to be a match review, a match analysis, match review on Manchester United 4, Everton 0, my pre-season game. And we're going to go straight into 5 things that we learned from the game, then we'll do player ratings, then I'll address some comments in the live chat. But the first thing I want to talk about is that I think Donny and Matic are better than McFred. And I said this in my watch along, I think anyone with eyes can see it. Donny and Matic work better than McTominay and Fred. Donny and Matic look better than Pogba and Fred. The only problem is with this is that Matic can't play as an out-and-out CDM week in, week out. Matic doesn't have the legs to play week in, week out. He can't do it for more than 45 minutes. And that is why we need a CDM, because a CDM, Donny and Bruno work. A CDM, Pogba and Bruno work. We know a CDM, Pogba and Bruno work. We saw it post-lockdown, when we went on that run to third. We know Matic, Donny and Bruno work. We know Matic and Donny work, but we know Matic doesn't have the legs to do it. Matic and Donny look so much better than McTominay and Fred. Matic and Donny versus Wolves was great. Matic and Donny versus Leicester was great. Matic and Donny versus Everton in pre-season, and yes, I know it's pre-season, but they were great. They work. The tempo was different. We were passing it better. We scored 3 goals in the first half with Donny and Matic and Bruno. We scored 0 goals in the second half when we changed the midfield. And I say it here, time and time again, I've said it on the channel, games can be won or lost in midfield, because if you're in midfield and McFred, cool, you keep a clean sheet 9 times out of 10, but you're not going to score goals. Donny and Bruno, when they play together, they make goals happen. You've got to remember last season, Donny and Bruno got 20 minutes together versus Newcastle. We went from 1-1 to 4-1. Donny and Bruno played together versus RB Leipzig. We won 5-0 in the 45 minutes that they played together. Donny comes on for 10 minutes versus Burnley. We score 2 goals. Donny comes on for 10 minutes versus Spurs. We score 2 goals. Donny, when he plays on the pitch with Bruno, all of a sudden, they must have whenever they're on the pitch together, they must score a goal every fucking 10 minutes or something insane. The minute you took Donny off and you put Fred on, and Pogba was crap today, the tempo was gone. And I have to say, Donny and Matic is probably our best fit midfield duo. Datic is probably better than McFred. Yeah, Datic is better than McFred. I completely agree with you. We just look so much better in the first half. Moving me to the second thing that we learned from the game. The second thing I believe that we learned from the game is that there was a poor second half. We lost tempo in the passing. I think one of the problems was that Donny, Matic and Bruno were passing the ball so well. And, when Man United play their best football, it's because we're playing quick first-time passes, good tempo in the passes, and we're moving the ball quickly. In the second half, Everton could have scored 1 or 2 goals. We were not as good in the second half because we were moving the ball slowly. We didn't have that tempo in the passing and all of that. And a tweet by the United faithfuls basically said that Donny van de Beek showing Solskjaer that he can offer a lot more defensively than just being a number 8 or playing around the opposition box. His interceptions have been top-notch. He proves he can comfortably play in the double pivot while also helping the transition from defence to attack. And a bonus point is, I think we also learned from this game that Donny can play in the pivot. Donny can play in the pivot. A lot of people think Donny's a Bruno backup. Donny's a number 10. Today we learned that Donny can play in the pivot. Not only defensively was Donny good in the pivot, but in the second half, you noticed when Donny wasn't there, because defensively we're worse in the second half, because defensively Donny's looked stronger than Fred and Paul Pogba. And I'm not saying that to suck Donny's ass, but he did. And we lost the tempo in the passing. And I thought the second half we were really poor and we were not as good or exciting in the second half. Donny van de Beek played really, really well. He's definitely up there as a man of the match contender for me. And Pogba, Bruno, Donny, midfield 3. That'd be an interesting midfield 3 to see. I think Donny can do a job in the pivot for sure, but is it a little bit attacking? Is it a little bit attacking? Please do make sure you hit that like button, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, watch alongs, match reactions and more. Please do make sure you subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. This is only going to be a quick cheeky live stream, by the way, guys. But the third thing I want to talk about is I actually think we improved at set pieces. Obviously, we scored 2 set pieces, the Bruno free kick and the Maguire bullet header from a Luke Shaw corner. But I thought defensively, we looked a lot better on set pieces. And I think offensively, we looked better on set pieces. And it's the set piece coach at Manchester United paying off. We've only just got this new set piece coach in. And Maguire all of a sudden scores a fucking header. Maguire wins every single header, never scores. Today, he couldn't have hit that header any better. Bruno scores a free kick. We keep a clean sheet. We look solid defensively on set pieces, and we scored 2 of our 3 goals from set pieces. I mean, the fourth goal kind of came from a set piece, because the low goal was almost from like a set piece if you think about it as well, because Fred put the ball in after the corner and all that. But I have to say, I think if I was going to, my main 3 points are Donny and Matic were a lot better than Fred and Pogba. Donny and Matic work. The second point was Donny can play in the pivot. He's not a cam. We know Donny can play in the pivot. Defensively was solid. And the third thing I want to say from the game is, yes, we dropped off in the second half, but I think we did improve on set pieces. This set piece coach could be like the secret signing of the season. It's a very unique signing there. Rebuild FC says Datic will lack any tenacity. No one will be able to challenge and be a destroyer. That was OG Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays McFred. We need to replace one of them with Donny. Matic can't do it. PL Champions League pre-season. This is the situation. Matic can't play week in, week out. We just need a top CDM, and then we'd play either Donny or Pogba, and then we play Bruno as a midfield 3 for me next season. If we get Ndidi, we can win the league. Yeah, I think we could win the league if we sign Ndidi, but the unfortunate thing is we won't sign Wilfred Ndidi, unfortunately. But I think if we did sign him, we could win the league. And Donny could play in the pivot, but for sure he needs a CDM next to him to do so. Possibly yes. You make a very solid point there. The fourth thing we learned from the game is Bruno, Donny, Shaw and Greenwood look great, and even Maguire in there. I think all the players look sharp and ready, and I would be very, very comfortable starting all these following players versus Leeds. Greenwood was very, very good in the first half. He did drop off a little bit in the second half, but he was still pretty lively. He had to play as a striker in the second half, so of course he's going to get less of the ball and less possession. And yes, Greenwood might have dropped off a little bit in the second half, playing as a striker, not getting much service, but he looks raring and ready to go for the season. Bruno, Donny, Shaw, Greenwood and Maguire to throw in there. I'd be more than happy for them to start versus Leeds. I think they looked pretty matched up to me, to be fair. And the fifth and final thing that we learned from the game before I address some of my live chats and go into player ratings was I think there was a big drop off in the second half. I think the squad depth is poor. I think the fact that we looked really, really good in the first half. We were absolutely dominant in the first half. We went 3-0 up in the first half and all of that. But in the second half, there was times where I thought, Everton could score. And all of that, we definitely looked a lot better in the first half. And there was definitely a drop off in the second half. I think that is probably my negative comment from the game, is that we just didn't look as good in the second half, to be fair. It was a drop off. I think that's just a lack of bench depth. McTominay's not good enough. Fred's not good enough. We don't have good backup fullbacks because Tellers is injured. There is a lack of bench depth. But for me, all I care about is us getting a CDM before the transfer window closes and possibly a backup for Wan-Bissaka to challenge him. Any questions for me, of course, put them down below in the live chat. But I am going to do some player ratings. I think I'll give De Gea a 6 out of 10 and made some bog standard saves. I think De Gea played really well. I'd give him a 6 out of 10. Didn't do anything wrong. Kept a clean sheet. Wan-Bissaka, again, I'd give a 6 out of 10. Defensively solid. He did make that a world-class tackle when he was in a 2v1 when Everton were on the counter-attack, but had nothing too amazing to do. I'd give Wan-Bissaka probably a 6.5 if we're going to be honest. Lindelof, again, was solid. Kept a clean sheet. Definitely a 6 out of 10. And Maguire, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 because he was solid, kept a clean sheet. That header was absolutely fantastic. Luke Shaw, again, I'm giving a 7. Great cross, solid defensively, kept a clean sheet. You can't really give any defenders those scores. He kept a clean sheet. Matic, I thought, was really, really good today. He was definitely one of the better players. I'm going to give Matic an 8 out of 10. Matic is probably a 7.5 out of 10. But the drop-off from Matic to Pogba and Fred was massive. The drop-off from Donny and Matic to Pogba and Fred was massive. So I will give Matic an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give Donny van de Beek an 8 out of 10 as well. I think Donny van de Beek and Matic were both fantastic. I mean, we were so much better in the first half than the second half, and that's because of the midfield. Bruno, scored a wonderful free kick. I'm giving Bruno my man of the match, and I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 as well. An absolutely world-class free kick from Bruno Fernandes. And Mason Greenwood, definitely a 7.5 out of 10 for me. Looked really, really sharp. Dan James, I'm going to give a 7 just because he won a few free kicks. He's probably a 6, but we won the game 4-0. He was one of the sharper players, and I'm going to be nice to Daniel James, and I'm going to give him a 7, but he's really a 6 and just be nice. Martial, I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. Not his fault. Didn't get much service, but didn't really do anything. Fred came in, and I like Fred, but he was poor. 5 out of 10 for Fred. A 5 out of 10 for Pogba, who was worse than Fred. Pogba kept losing possession. Mata was all right. I give Mata a 6 out of 10. I thought he was better than Pogba and Fred. Williams, I'd give a 6 out of 10. He did keep a clean sheet. Delo scored a goal and looked all right defensively. I'd probably give him a 6.5 out of 10. Tuanzebe, a solid 6 out of 10. Pereira didn't really do much, but a solid 6 out of 10. McTominay, solid 6 out of 10, didn't really do much. Garner looked all right. Again, a solid 6 out of 10. And we won the game 4-0. So I'd probably give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a 7 out of 10 in terms of player ratings. But Donny van de Beek and Bruno were definitely up there in terms of who my man of the match could be. and all of that. But that is my quick analysis for the Manchester United versus Everton game. It's a bit of a pre-season reaction. If you've got any comments or live chats you want to throw in, do put them down below. I want to see your thoughts on the game. But to sum up the game, we played well. I'm happy with the game. I think Donny, I'd like to see Donny play versus Leeds. I think my main talking point was Donny can do it in the pivot. Donny was one of our better players. I thought Fernandes looked sharp. I thought Greenwood looked ready. Martial wasn't great. Pogba wasn't great. They're two key players for next season I think need to improve for sure. But, you know, the only disappointing thing is you didn't get to see the likes of Sancho and Varane, but we will definitely see Sancho versus Leeds. And this time next week, I'm going to be live for my Manchester United versus Leeds watch along and match reaction. So do subscribe to that. 40 subscribers away from 16k subscribers, by the way, guys. So do make sure you subscribe as well and all of that. But what are you guys saying in the live chat? Let me have a look at some of the live chats. What are your predictions on the Charity Shield? I hope Leicester win, but I think City will win. Donny was great. Let me know in the live chat, or if you're not watching live, in the comments, who was your man of the match? And Samuel Ingram says Manchester United new midfielders, Edouard Camavinga, Sounders, Kieran Trippier. Now, I believe we're going to get Camavinga this chance to win. I have a feeling we could get Camavinga this chance to win, but I'm not sure about Neves or Sounders. We could possibly get Trippier as well. Samuel Lucas does say that Man United will sign one more player this summer. So do make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, as I will be covering a lot of transfer news in the video. And yes, it was a really good game. I enjoyed a bit of it. Thanks, Alice, says James Isaac. It was a good game. The second half dragged on. The second half wasn't brilliant, but it was a good game. And I do feel a lot more confident going into the Leeds game. I was really nervous for Manchester United versus Leeds because we hadn't looked good in pre-season. And, you know, a lot of our players that were going to play versus Leeds might have not had a pre-season because of the Euros, and players have come back late and we had to cancel the Preston game. So I was a little bit worried for the Leeds game. But seeing that, how we took control, especially in the first half, how the midfield took control, I'm not as worried about the Leeds game as I originally was and all of that. What's your prediction for our game versus Villa around the Super Cup? I assume Chelsea will win that, but if Chelsea do lose that, it will make me feel a little bit better about losing the Europa League final. But I'm sure Chelsea will win that game 2-3 now. You're easily a better team than Villarreal. I mean, we should have beat Villarreal and we didn't, but, you know, you're not as big at bottle jobs as us. So I'm sure that Chelsea will beat Villarreal. But 4-0 versus Everton, guys. Bruno masterclass. Free kick was absolutely world-class. Like, that Bruno free kick was just fucking filthy, disgusting, world-class. Maguire had a fantastic. Delot scored a nice cheeky goal. I thought the Greenwood was sharp, scored a goal. Nice to see him score a goal. He's a striker. He needs to get a goal and all of that. Was it a good game? I couldn't watch it. It was a really, really good first half. I'd recommend watching the match highlights because the Bruno free kick was a screamer. Very, very good first half and all of that. But I am going to end the live stream here because it's just a quick match reaction, player ratings, and 5 things we learned from the game. So I'm going to end it here, but I am going to be live tomorrow night. However, if you have any questions for me, do put them down below in the live chat, as I will read out a couple questions before I end the live stream. So if you have any questions about the game or you want to put any thoughts on the game, do read it down below, because I'm going to end the live stream in the next 5 minutes because I don't want it to be a super long live stream. But Donny, fantastic. Bruno, fantastic. Greenwood, Sharp, Luke Shaw, Maguire, all our key players definitely performing and all of that. Hello, sis Alice. I'm a fan from Malaysia. Nice. We've got one thing I love about the Man United fan base, and this has nothing to do with the game, but we have such an international fan base. We have people in Africa, Asia, Europe, America, like, watching us. And I always think, like, boom, like, I always like that bit of us. I think it's always nice to have fans from all over the world. I feel like we're almost the most global fan base in football, maybe, and all that. Do you know what else is really interesting? That Varane and Sancho were both watching the game, which is what you love to see. Varane's gone and brought his Man United TV membership watching the game. Obviously, there is the Community Shield tonight. Come on, Leicester, beat them. City players. Will Jack Grealish play for City tomorrow? That'll be interesting as well and all of that. But Van der Beek has looked very, very decent today and all of that. And I think if I was going to sum up 1 point from this game, if I had one real point to sum up from this game, is we need a CDM. We could say we need a CDM before them. Before this match, we knew Manchester United needed a CDM. Way before this match, we all knew that Manchester United needed to go out and CDM. But definitely after this match, seeing the shift that Donny Van der Beek put in and how he can play in the pivot, we obviously know that Pogba works with a CDM. Pogba, Bruno, and the CDM works from Matic post-lockdown when Matic was at his best. We know that Donny and Matic work. I think if I had to make one real big point from this game is we need to go out and get a CDM. I like Camavinga, but he's not going to be the CDM we need. If we could sign anyone right now, I'd go to Leicester and I'd sign fucking Wilfred and Ndidi. I would go out and I'd do it. I'd sell Lingard 25 million. I'd go to Leicester. You know what? I'd go to Leicester. I'd be like, you got Sumer. We'll give you 50 million quid and Jesse Lingard for for Ndidi. We'd even throw in 50 million quid, Jesse Lingard and Daniel James for Ndidi. That's what I would do. Will United do it? No. Are we going to get Ndidi? No chance. But that is 100% what I would do. I would go and get Wilfred Ndidi because we've learned from this game all we need is a CDM. All we need is a CDM. This guy says that we should keep Diego Dalot. I do believe that we should keep Diego Dalot because I just think we need backup for Wan-Bissaka, and I don't want to be spending money on Trippier when I don't care that much about Trippier. I'd rather keep Dalot, sell James, sell Lingard, get 40 million for James and Lingard, and invest the 40 million we get for James and Lingard in a CDM and keep Dalot as a backup right back. That's what I personally do. Then next summer we go in and trigger that 60 million Haaland release clause, and I think we would be an absolute force. Thomas Waite says United are the best team in the world. We are the best team in the world. And Jadon Sanchez says Van der Beek needs to start almost every game this season. I think, Van der Beek could be like a new signing this season. Obviously, he was a new signing last season, but he didn't play. But I think Van der Beek, because he's had a pre-season, because he's bulked up, he's had more time with Ollie, he's more fit, he's more developed into the squad, he's built chemistry. Ollie knows more about him. He's put in a great performance again in pre-season. Defensively played well, did a fantastic job in the pivot. I think Ollie didn't realise that Van der Beek could play in the pivot. I think Ollie's learned that Van der Beek can play in the pivot. But also, now we sign Varane, Ollie won't play McFred as much. We only play McFred to protect Maguire and Lindelof. Now we've got Varane, the defence needs less protection. I think Ollie's more likely to take risks and play Donny in the pivot next season. I do think that Donny Van der Beek will get more game time next season. But I just hope we get a top CDM in as well to play that game time with Donny Van der Beek in the pivot next season. Once Donny and Matic off, everything changed. You are 100% right. Once Donny and Matic off, we just did not look as good. We just got worse, and I 100% agree with that and all of that. Who is here and believe Man United will win this season? Arnold here from Zambia, Africa. You believe Man United will win the league? I think if we sign a CDM, we could easily win the league, but I don't think we're going to sign a CDM unless it's Camavinga, who isn't the developed finished CDM and all that. Do make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, down below, please do subscribe to Alice Talks Football to stay up to date with Manchester United content. And Jadon Sanchez says, my balance is almost Ollie out, but if he uses Van der Beek a lot more and have a stronger midfield, my balance will shift to Ollie in. Look, I'm Ollie in, but I criticise Ollie's subs. I criticise that Ollie doesn't use Van der Beek enough, and I criticise and I blame Ollie for the reason we lost the Europa League final. However, one of my biggest criticisms of Ollie was not playing Van der Beek. If Ollie goes into next season and he plays Van der Beek over the likes of McFred, and he plays expansive attacking football and not this sit-back negative football, I think more fans will be Ollie in. The question is, Ollie knew with Lindelof, Maguire and McTominay and Fred, maybe he didn't have the facilities to play the football he wanted because Ollie, when he was interim manager, Matic, Herrera, Pogba, great attacking football. Ollie, obviously, post-lockdown, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, great attacking football. Obviously, defensively, we went a bit iffy. Maguire did not start the season well a year ago because he had a lot of issues off the field. But obviously, Maguire looks 10 times better than he did a year ago. I think Ollie has the facilities now with Varane and Sancho to play better football. He doesn't have a CDM. That's the only piece that he needs. But I think if Ollie plays Van der Beek more, he plays more attacking, expansive football, which I believe he will do next season with Varane at the back and the pace that he had and the players we got in and the confidence we'll hopefully be playing with. I do think there'll be more fans Ollie in. However, if we start the season poorly, if he doesn't win a trophy, I would completely understand why a lot of people would potentially be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out. Hello, I'm Sean. What a game from Matic. Matic, Donny, Bruno, Greenwood, Maguire, Luke Shaw were all fantastic today. Give them all a round of applause. But Donny, Matic and Bruno, the three best players on the pitch for sure. The midfield was brilliant because, do you know what I loved? And we don't see a good midfield from Manchester United much, but it was the tempo and the passing. It was the first time passing, the tiki-taka tempo passing between Bruno, Matic and Donny, because Fred and Pogba's passing was not on the level of Matic and Donny's. And I say Manchester United, it's all about moving the ball quickly. If you want to play good, expansive football, it's all about moving the ball quickly. And the tick, 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 tick ball movement was absolutely fantastic. Who is my man of the match? My man of the match is probably Bruno, but Donny Van der Beek and Matic were fantastic. They're definitely nominees for man of the match. Will we win the league? If we get a CDM, I generally believe we can win the league, but I think Manchester City will win the league. And Chelsea are going to get Koundé and Lukaku and strengthen as well. You've got to remember that. But, yeah. Hello, Alice. What is your thoughts on Victor Lindelof? Can he play in midfield? He cannot play in midfield. Victor Lindelof's a good bench player. He's a good backup to Varane. Have no issue with Victor Lindelof staying around and all of that. But, yeah. No Jack Grealish playing for Manchester City, apparently. I didn't think he would play because he only did sign yesterday. And we need to buy a CDM. Cannot play. Matic can barely play 90 minutes. 100%. 100% agree with that. I think, look, it doesn't take a genius to know we need a CDM. Look. This is my FPL code, by the way, if you do want to join the FPL League. I just thought I'd mention that there. And do subscribe. But look, my points from the game is Donny and Matic were greater than Fred. They were. Donny and Matic were better than Pogba and Fred. Donny and Matic were the best duo. They proved it versus Wolves. They proved it versus Leicester. Great passing. The second thing I said we learned from the game was a poor second half. We lost tempo in the passing. What I also wanted to add to that point was Donny can play in the pivot. We learned that today. Defensively, he was good. The third thing I think we learned from the game is we did improve from set pieces. 2 of our goals came directly from set pieces, and the fourth and final goal technically came from a set piece. The Greenwood goal was the only goal that didn't come from a set piece. We scored 3 goals out of our 4, which technically came from a set piece. Do remember that as well. And I also thought defensively we looked better on set pieces. So maybe the set piece coach is paying off already, but it is only pre-season. You know, yes, we've won the game. Yes, we've won the game 4-0, but it is pre-season. So it makes me more confident going into the Leeds game. It makes me more confident going into the league. It makes me more confident about Manchester United. It makes me feel happier, but it is pre-season. But I did think we improved at set pieces. I thought Donny, Shaw, Greenwood, Matic and Maguire all looked great, but I did think there was a big drop off in the second half. Maybe the squad depth is poor, or maybe there's a lack of quality. There's a lack of quality in the squad. Still, I think they were the sort of my 5 talking points from the game. Pogba is my man of the match. Pogba was atrocious. Like, I love Paul Pogba. I'm all for keeping Pogba. I'm not a Pogba hater. I'm a Man United fan that's like keep Pogba at the club, but he was atrocious today. And this guy says, hey, why not use Lindelof as our 6th CDM? I haven't brought Camavinga, Neville, and they guess I don't want to try Lindelof at CDM. I'd rather play Tuanzebe at CDM, and he's going out on loan. Varane's watching the game. So good for United to show a pic of the middle of the game. What do you think? Yeah, Varane is watching the game with his kid. Very, very nice for him to show it and all of that. But it was a lovely win for Manchester United to win. You know, I was a little bit worried going into the Leeds game because of the pre-season we've had and all of that. But to go into next season, and I can feel a lot more confident now going into next season, if you want my opinion. I feel a lot more confident because I'm like, you know what? We won the game 4-0. We looked all right. We looked decent. I definitely feel a lot more confident going into Leeds game after that win. And I know it's pre-season, but I wasn't feeling confident in all of that. I think Man United need a defender and a goalkeeper. I'm not too worried about the goalkeeper or defender situation. I think ideally we might need another centre-back, possibly one maybe next season. But I think for me, it goes get a CDM in, and then next season get a backup right back, get Haaland, and see where we need to invest. I think goalkeeper's the least of our issues and all that. As you said, we need a defensive midfielder. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but fucking hell, we do need a defensive midfielder and all of that and stuff. I really hope we get one. I am going to do a video tomorrow, and I'm going to do a big transfer news update tomorrow because obviously, you know, Camavinga has to leave Rennes or sign a new deal. Camavinga wants to leave Rennes, but now Messi's going to PSG. PSG can't get Camavinga. Barcelona can't get Camavinga. Real Madrid won't be able to get Camavinga because they want to get Mbappe. That means Man United are pushing for the Camavinga deal. He's only £30 million. We've been in contact with Rennes. We've been in contact with Camavinga. We know Man United are in for Camavinga. Yeah? Camavinga has to leave Rennes. Camavinga's agent pushing him for a move to Manchester United. I think there's going to be some big news regarding Camavinga to Manchester United. I really do think we could go for Camavinga and all that. I know Lukaku's going back to Chelsea, but I think we could get Camavinga, and I will do a transfer news update on Camavinga to Manchester United because if PSG get Messi and Camavinga has to leave, and that's what Rennes are saying, he has to sign a new deal or leave, and he can't go to Spain unless Chelsea swoop in and get Camavinga. I'm very, very certain that I think, you know what, United are going to get Camavinga, and I will do a transfer live stream tomorrow. Tomorrow night I'm going to be live with lots more transfer news updates and all of that. But I'm very, very confident that United could get Camavinga now. And tomorrow's video will be my list of reasons why I believe we could get the Camavinga deal over the line, because I know we're in for him and all of that, and I don't think we have to sell to buy him because we know Romana said that us buying Camavinga doesn't depend on the future of Paul Pogba and Donny van der Beek. 2 hours to the Community Shield starts, and Daniel Men says Ollie is crap, giving Daniel James more playing time than Donny. This shows Donny will not get playing time. I do worry that, you know, he'll play Daniel James and Mata over the likes of Donny van der Beek, of course, but I think Ollie has no reason not to play Donny van der Beek next season. Donny's proved today he can do it in a pivot. Donny proved versus Wolves and Leicester that he's good enough and actually does a better job than McTominay and Fred. Donny's proved when he's come on as a sub that all of a sudden we go from 1-0 to win the game 3-1 in a matter of 10 minutes when Donny comes on as a sub. Donny's bulked up. Donny's had more time with Ollie, more time with the squad. Ollie's learnt more about Donny. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no excuse to not give Donny van der Beek more game time next season because he was fantastic today. He was fantastic in the last 2 starts he was given in the Premier League. He was fantastic when he came on as a sub versus Burnley. He was fantastic when he came on as a sub versus Spurs. You know, when Donny and Bruno played together, for 45 minutes versus Leipzig, we scored 4 goals. When Donny and Bruno played together for 20 minutes versus Newcastle, we scored 3 goals. When Donny and Bruno played together for 10 minutes versus Burnley, we scored 2 goals. When Donny and Bruno played together for 10 minutes versus Spurs, we scored 2 goals. When Donny and Bruno played together on the pitch, we scored 3 goals in 45 minutes. Donny links up well with Bruno. Donny's a great player in the midfield. Donny can play in the pivot. Donny needs a CDM next to him. This is the Donny van der Beek fan channel. Forget the Man United fan channel crap. We are now a Donny van der Beek fan channel. Over 100 people watching, so do make sure you hit that like button. And of course, do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, do subscribe down below to the channel. We are 28 subscribers away from 16,000 subscribers. 28 subs of 16,000 subscribers, guys. So do subscribe to the channel. Lingard, James, Pereira should be sold. I also want to add Phil Jones and Mata to that list as well. I'm not going to lie. And this is why Donny needs to play more. Exactly. Van der Beek was good in the pivot versus Wolves too. Ollie, let that sink in. Van der Beek is good in the pivot and can hold with someone like Matic. Facts. Absolute facts. My man of the match is Bruno, just because he played a bit longer than Donny van der Beek. But Donny could easily be man of the match and all of that. And Solskjaer confirmed that Jadon Sancho will be in United training on Monday and hopefully will be involved against Leeds United. A little bit of news coming out. And, you know, for the Bruno haters, people are saying, oh, it's only pre-season, the Bruno free kick means nothing. People trying to find a way to hate on Bruno for scoring a free kick. I love it. I absolutely love it. That Bruno free kick, quality. You know what? We've seen some great goals in pre-season. I think Pereira's goal versus Brentford was the best goal of pre-season, but that Bruno goal was a screamer. I mean, Alanga scored a great goal. I think Maguire's header was fantastic. You know what? Has it been the best pre-season ever? No, but have we seen some fantastic goals in pre-season? Yes. He links up with Bruno so great. He needs more time. Yeah, Donny and Bruno just link up well. Like Donny and Bruno just have great link up. They do. I said it time and time again. I feel like I'm going to find this out. I'm going to do some research tonight. And I'm going to see what the stat is of how many goals per minute we score when Donny and Bruno play together. Because Donny and Bruno don't play together much on the same pitch. But whenever Donny and Bruno are on the same pitch, we do seem to score like more than a goal a half, like 2 goals a half. I generally wouldn't surprise me if we scored a goal every 20 minutes when Donny and Bruno play together. I'm going to do some research and try and find out what the stat is for how many goals Man United score when Donny and Bruno are on the same pitch together. I am actually going to do some research and try and find that out. And when I can find out that stat, I'll put it in tomorrow's live stream when we do a transfer news update. Wouldn't mind Matic's backup. Yeah, I'm more than happy to keep Matic at the squad just because he can offer something because we don't actually have a CDM. That's the only reason. I think if we had a CDM, I'd be more than happy to sell Matic, but we don't. Mata, I don't think offers anything. Dan James, I don't think offers much. Lingard, I don't think offers much. And I think with Lingard and Dan James, they're just blocking the development of Amad Diallo, Palestri, Alanga, McNeil, Hugo, all of that. But I think Matic doesn't really offer anything. He could play against a Burnley and a couple of games. But I think, yeah, Mata needs to go, James needs to go, Lingard needs to go, Pereira needs to go, Jones needs to go. But I think you have to keep Matic because we don't have anyone else that can do the CDM role. And Matic was good today. But the thing about Matic is you have one really good game and one stinker because he can only play at a certain tempo for a certain amount of time because he is past his best. Alanga is having a great pre-season as well, but unfortunately he was injured, so he couldn't be involved today. And I like the Donny Bruno first-time passes. They're both intelligent players, and I think one of the reasons Donny and Bruno link up so well is because they are both very highly intelligent players. They can link up well. They have that very good protection and all that. And Donny can bring the EPL title to Old Trafford. Donny van der Beek will be like a new midfield signing this summer. Like, even if we don't sign a midfielder, and I do believe we're going to get Camavinga, I have a feeling we're just going to get this Camavinga deal because of Messi going to PSG. I have a feeling we're going to get Camavinga, but I could be wrong, so don't listen to me on that. But Donny could be like a new midfield signing because Donny van der Beek played fuck all last season. Donny van der Beek barely was involved last season, so he's almost like a new signing this season. I do feel about Donny van der Beek and bulking up and being involved in pre-season that I feel like Donny van der Beek's a new sign. I feel like he's a player we just brought because we didn't see enough of him last season. I honestly have a feeling that, you know, Donny could be like a good impact in all of that. But yeah, could Donny bring the EPL title to Old Trafford? I think if we had a CDM, Donny and Bruno in the midfield, that could win a title. This is my situation. I love Paul Pogba, but if you sell Paul Pogba and buy a CDM, I have no issue. It's just the reason I say keep Paul Pogba is because 1, he's quality, and 2, I know with the board, if we sell Paul Pogba, we probably won't buy a CDM, we'll probably buy fucking Trippier, stupid, and all of that. I mean, ideal world is keep Pogba, sign Ndidi, sign Camavinga, sell McTominay and Fred, and have the midfield sorted for the future, but that's not going to happen. My ideal situation at Man United is sign the CDM this summer, keep Delo, then next summer, get a backup right back if Dalot wants to go, and sign Haaland for 60 million, because Lukaku going to Chelsea, Kane going to City, PSG getting Messi, Mbappe going to Real Madrid, Haaland's options are Bayern Munich, he wants to leave the Bundesliga, Juventus, Manchester United, Liverpool. Can Liverpool afford him? Not sure. Juventus, can they afford him? Not sure. Barcelona financially can't afford him. So I'm in a situation where I'm like, get a CDM, and the next season we go all out for Haaland. So we don't have to worry about CDM next season. We can focus on Haaland and see if we can get that done. That is sort of my stance and situation regarding Manchester United. We didn't miss Cavani today, agree? I mean, I don't think Martial was great, but I don't think Cavani would have done a better job than Martial, because when you look at it, what service did Martial get? None. You know, Greenwood looked really good in the first half as a right winger. He looks right in the second half, but not as good as a striker. There's still a lack of service. There's still a lack of service because Daniel James doesn't put his head up when he crosses. Bruno tries. A lot of the creativity rules through Bruno. I thought the wingers got a lot of service, but I just think Martial got a lot of service. I don't think we missed Cavani today. I don't think we missed Cavani today. I don't think Cavani would have been much of a difference from Martial today, but I did think Martial was poor. Shaw thinks Grealish is going to be a bad signing. I think Grealish will be a good signing at City. He's playing in a good system. He's a good player. Ollie needs to break the partnership with McFred. What I'm really happy we didn't see is McFred today. I'm really happy we didn't see McFred today. He could have took Donny and Matic off and played McFred and Pogba on the left. But instead of taking Donny and Matic off from McFred, he played Pogba and Fred. And I'm really happy Ollie did that. The fact that he started Donny and Matic as well in the first half meant that maybe he views Donny and Matic higher than all the other players because they've had the most time of Ollie in pre-season because they didn't go away. He didn't put Pogba on the left and play Fred and McTominay in the pivot. He actually put Pogba on the left and played Garner and Fred in the pivot and moved McTominay to centre-back when he did his subs. And that's something I was really, really happy to see because I was really, really worried and concerned that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was just going to go straight to McFred, but he didn't. He played Donny and Matic, then he played Fred and Pogba, then he played Fred and Garner. We did not see McFred together once in the pivot. When Pogba was moved to the left, it wasn't for McTominay, it was just to give Garner a go. And I'm really, really happy we saw that as well, actually. I think that's one of the big things he did. I think we will play Jadon Sancho versus Leeds. If you click on my channel, my video uploaded yesterday is Manchester United versus Leeds predicted lineup. I uploaded a predicted lineup on my channel yesterday. Let me go to my channel. Your channel. Okay, watch this. Let me share my screen with you just a second, guys. Let me share my screen. This is my predicted lineup versus Leeds, by the way. But I'm going to make one change. Videos, if you go to this video here. Yeah, oh, stupid ad, piss off. Wait, so we just got to wait for this stupid ad. Okay. Here we go. This was my predicted lineup. It was Martial up top, Sancho on the left, Greenwood on the right, Bruno Cam, and it's going to be Donny and Matic in the midfield. I think it will be Donny and Matic in the midfield, Sancho, Bruno, Greenwood, Martial, and then Shaw, Maguire, probably Lindelof because I don't think Varane we registered in time, and Wan-Bissaka and De Gea. So the back five we saw today, Donny and Matic, which we saw today, and then it will be Sancho for James. I think it will be the starting 11 today, but Sancho for James is what we'll play versus Leeds. If I was going to put a guess at it and all of that. Pogba was not fit enough. That's why he didn't have the best game. To be fair, Pogba's only just come back to training, so he might have not been fit enough. And only 25 likes are needed for 100 likes. So please do hit that like button on this video. Please do hit that like button. I like your channel. You read most of the comments. I try and engage with my audience as much as possible. I almost ended the live stream because I wasn't getting many comments. And then all of a sudden, like 60 people joined in a second and I got loads of comments in. And I was like, you know what? We'll keep the live stream going. We'll answer a few more comments and all of that. We should play the midfield of Bruno, Pogba and Matic most because I think that is our best midfield three. Obviously, Donny's looking better than Pogba today. But the situation is Pogba didn't look great and Matic can't play week in, week out. But I think Ndidi, Pogba, Bruno would be my ideal midfield three going into next season. But I know we're not going to sign Ndidi. It was great seeing Martial back. I know he had a quiet game. I know he didn't look match sharp. But one, he got no service. Two, he's only just come back. So I wouldn't hate on Martial. Predictions for the Community Shield. I'm going to go Leicester to win 2-1. I'm going to go Leicester to win. You know what? Because I want Leicester to win. Do I think City will win? Probably. But do I want Leicester to win? Yes. I mean, Leicester did batter City 5-2 about a year ago. And I thought that was I loved it when Leicester battered City 5-2. You know what? I'd love Leicester to go and win 4-0. You know, we've won 4-0. Leicester, go and win 4-0. Batter the oil merchants all out and ruin their confidence for the start of the season. That's what we'd love to see. You know what makes me laugh, though, is Man United, do you know what's really weird about last season? When we lost to 6-1 to Spurs and Liverpool fans were laughing at us, then 2 hours later we got a laugh at Liverpool for losing 7-2 to Villa. And then on the same week that Liverpool scored 7 goals against Crystal Palace, we scored 6 goals against Leeds. Last season was such a weird one, wasn't it? Just throwing that out there. Pogba is apathetic. He lacks desire when going and gets tough and he goes running off to the French league. I think Pogba is lazy. I think, he doesn't always conduct himself the best, but I think Pogba is a quality player, and sometimes he just has to have his bad games to have his good games. I think Scott should be back up centre-back. I disagree with that, but fair enough. Each to your own. Delo was quite good today. United can keep his back. Look, this is my situation. Keep Delo as backup to Wan-Bissaka. Don't waste your money on a 31-year-old Trippier. Whatever. Keep Delo as Wan-Bissaka's backup. I know Ollie doesn't rate him, but he's all right. Yeah, and then I go invest your money in Camavinga. That is, I say it time and I say it time and time again. That's what I think we should do. Don't you think Pogba slows down the tempo a little bit because he looks around and pass? Donny and Matic's first touch pass is one-on-one choice to watch. I think Donny works better with Bruno than Pogba does, because Donny and Bruno are all about them first-time tiki-taka passes. But I think with Pogba, he just wasn't matched up today. I think Pogba can play well, but he was a little bit slow today and all of that. Pogba doesn't want to play for United, the guy, till the season is over. Look, Pogba could have a poor season. Maybe his heart's not at Man United, but I don't. This is a pre-season game. I think Pogba being poor was just because he's not match sharp and it's his first game back and all of that. I wouldn't be too worried about Pogba. I think Pogba will have a good season for us. It's looking more and more likely that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United this season, and I think he will have a good season for us. So I wouldn't be too worried about Paul Pogba, what he does, if he has a good season, if he has a bad season, and any of that. I think he will have a good season. I think he looked all right and all that. We are 13 subscribers away from 16k. We are 13 subscribers away from 16k subs. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. That's all I'm saying. Iheanacho just scoring the Community Shield. When is kickoff? When is kickoff? Leicester City. When is kickoff? I'm going to Google it. When is kickoff? It is 5:15. So 2 hours for the Community Shield. Come on, Leicester. Come on, Leicester. Hopefully Leicester win and all that. But I am going to wrap up today's live stream. This is my match reaction to Manchester United versus Everton. If you have any questions for me in the live chat that I was unable to answer in today's live stream, I'm going to be live tomorrow night. I'm going to be live tomorrow night with a big transfer news update, talking about why I think we'll get Camavinga, talking about the latest on Neves, Sal, Pogba. I'm going to be live tomorrow night with a big transfer news update. So if you had any questions for me in the live chat that I didn't read out in today's video, do not worry, because I will be live tomorrow night. So do subscribe, put the post notifications on, and do go into tomorrow's night's live stream, and I'll try and read out and reply to as many questions in the live chat as possible. That is my FPL code for those of you that are asking. By the way, hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's hit 150 likes by the end of the stream. Do subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with daily Manchester United content. I do 5 live streams in the evening a week. I go live at 7:45, 5 evenings in the week, talking about transfer news, talking about Manchester United news. We sometimes get guests on the channel. We read out a lot of your live chats and stuff. I'll be doing a watch along this time next week to Man U Leeds. I'll be doing a match reaction to Man U Leeds. So for match reactions, watch alongs, match previews, and transfer news, do subscribe down below. If I didn't answer any of your live chats, I'm really sorry. I will try and answer them in tomorrow's video. I will be live tomorrow night. But before you leave, please do vote for me at the Football Content Awards as well. If you go to Football Content Awards voting, you can vote for me for Best New Content Creator, Best Young Content Creator, and Best Premier League Content Creator. You can also vote other YouTubers. But thanks everyone for subscribing. Thanks for tuning into the show. It was a good show. Thanks for watching. I'm going to end it here. See you next week versus Leeds. See you in tomorrow night's live stream. Bye.